back. It's another episode of the best American footy podcast out. Fried Footie. Y'all know what it is. It is the season preview. We've got Liverpool's demise.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Chelsea possibly winning the league.
You're crazy.
Yeah, Barcelona running away with La Liga.
Not gonna be close.
Even crazy.
Where exactly is Man U going to finish in this Premier League season?
Not very high.
It's off season, but it's about a week, 2 weeks max before we're really back into the
5
Premier
days,
League.
bro. We talking about 2 weeks.
Baby.
I mean, it's not tapped in.
Do it. I mean, the first game, sure. I'm talking about really back into it. I mean,
we back, baby.
And we got Manchester United versus Arsenal on Saturday, bro. On Sunday.
You're right. I mean,
Yeah. Come on, that's about to be crazy.
Let's get right to it because we got to correct Brad
Okay.
on some stuff because
Yes,
Brad
sir.
was talking cash scared, piss running down his legs, talking about Liverpool.
This
And
was if Liverpool got Isak, and let me be very clear, they have not gotten Isak. That was the premise. Don't twist my words.
You don't get to
Don't
talk
twist
right
my
now.
words.
Lingo. You don't get to talk right now. We are starting the show with Liverpool's demise. Liverpool's demise will be televised. Televised. And this is what I mean about it. They said we did a little intro about the Premier League starting this weekend coming up, and yes, that is true. But it unofficially began this past weekend with the Community Shield as Liverpool lost on penalties to Crystal Palace. The point is that they defeated the great Liverpool, the Liverpool that was supposed to be undefeated in the Premier League season before we even got a game on the boards. That's already taking an L. Now look, everyone will say this is just a friendly. This doesn't really matter. No. This is for a cup. This counts. And if you don't believe me, ask Liverpool's best defender. Ask Liverpool's best defender, Van Dijk, what he thinks about this. But overall, I just want Brad to have to answer. Liverpool hasn't really taken an L. So I want to know, is that undefeated season still smelling or sounding good to you, brother?
Well, I think the whole Liverpool season hinges on two guys that are pretty much at the top end of the age bracket for elite teams. Like Virgil van Dijk is 34 years old. Can you find me any center back that's starting for an elite team that's 34 years old right now? I think he's the oldest in the world. And Salah's 33. Like Messi, when he was 34, that's when he went to PSG. That's when Messi sort of started to take his steps down. And you got to think it's coming soon. It's just a question of, can they put it together for one more magical year? They have all the pieces surrounding them, but they have nothing to replace them. And that's the really scary part for Liverpool.
But last week you had said nothing about the play of Salah or Van Dijk being critical. And I'm not gonna be a prisoner of the moment. You have been one of the few people in the past of this podcast to say that is an important thing, that their age is a factor in all of Liverpool's success and what it means going forward. But last week, that's not what you said. You were telling me Invincible 2.0, and I was here undefeated season. So before
they got Isak, you can't take that away from me, no matter how hard you try.
Never a hard line.
If they got the best striker in the world, yes, they're another level up.
Okay.
Who plays in
your agenda? How long is this taking forever? This is the longest agenda I've ever heard. Where's your agenda?
He said being televised.
I was trying not to curse. I had in the back of my mind I wasn't cursing today, but you just got me hot. What are you talking about? What is
your agenda?
My agenda was that they're not going to defeat it. Answer for yourself, and you still have it.
Is your agenda that they're not going to finish first?
Yes. Yes.
Say that.
Not my agenda. Not winning the Premier League. That's my agenda.
What do you want?
No, screw that. On Mamas, they not winning the Premier League. So that's just my agenda.
Okay. That's a quality agenda.
What do you mean? My quality agenda was you to answer for yourself, and you didn't answer for yourself. Around where Isak and Salah now are the same player? Get out of here. Shut up. Lies. 10 minutes ago, it was that if Salah or Van Dijk fall off, they don't have anything for that. Literally,
because they don't have Isak. Look, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Whoa, that is not how this works.
I said last week it was all about Isak.
My God, Rodney, go to your agenda.
All right.
I will say before we get to Rise agenda, I think you're wrong. I think Liverpool is going to win the league. I think they'll be good enough, even if Salah is not, even if he's not 100% of him.
Stand on something.
Yeah,
Now,
I'll back off the Invincibles thing, but that was only because if they get Isak.
Okay.
fair.
And if they get Isak, let's revisit it. Because I want to talk about
They're
that.
not getting Isak. So Liverpool winning the league?
I think they might get Isak. They said they still want him.
Liverpool winning the league.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
Liverpool will win the league. I don't want them to win the league.
No,
I will be rooting for them to lose.
No, that's what you.
But
that's
yes,
what
I
you're
do
saying
think
on.
they'll win the league.
All right,
I'm not mad at that, but you're saying with or without Isak.
I'm saying right now, without Isak, they will win the league.
Okay,
perfect.
With Isak, I think they'll win, and it won't be close. But without Isak, it's gonna.
Okay, there we go. I can respect that. I can respect that.
Rodney, what do you think? You think they'll win?
I don't, because then that leads right into my actual agenda. The team who I do think is actually going to win. A real dark horse. I like that segue. I like what you did there. That's real
out here. You know,
producer work right there. Anyway, I'm going to get to the team that I think is actually going to win the Premier League, and that is Chelsea. I really think that
Chelsea.
I think they're the team that's going to do it. You, of all people, first off, Brad, have the most Cole Palmer stock. You should be.
I love Cole Palmer.
Right on board.
You're jumping out the window. You were like against Cole Palmer 3 weeks ago, and now you got them winning the league.
Yeah, because it's not totally about Cole Palmer. It's about the additions that they've surrounded Cole Palmer with.
I'm about to say,
that will
tell us
elevate
what
Cole
you think of
Palmer. Look, I've been on record to say that Cole Palmer is the Tyrese Halliburton of the EPL. The more weapons that he has, the better he is going to be, because he is, to me, the best passer in the final third in the Premier League. His scoring, he definitely can shoot, but we saw he goes through goalless droughts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the skill's there, but the goal scoring isn't always there. The passing is always there. Setting up players is always there. And we saw what they looked like with Nicholas Jackson versus without Nicholas Jackson, for example, last year. So what did they do when they saw the fall off of no Nicholas Jackson? They went and not got one, but two very good strikers, I feel like, that are at minimum equivalent, if not better, than Nicholas Jackson and Delap and João Pedro. And that combination, that striker, I'm really, really liking. Because now you're putting Cole Palmer back at the 10 more centrally. I don't really like him as much on the right wing. I like him more centrally. They got Neto. They got the Gittins as well on the left wing that I really like as well. They're surrounding Cole Palmer with some crazy weapons.
They got my boy Estevao from Brazil. He came through.
He came through. They got Caicedo and holding it down in the defensive midfield. I think the back four is pretty solid. Like, they don't have any.
That's where I'm gonna stop you.
I think the
back four, they just lost one of their center backs for like the whole year. That's why Colwill just tore his ACL, so he's done. And then they got this dude Chalobah, who filled in for him. He got an ankle injury the last game, and no one knows how long he's out yet. So that's the only piece that I think is holding Chelsea back. I don't think they're gonna be even number 2. I think Chelsea will come in number 3 behind Man City, number 2 to Liverpool, number 1.
Well, I will say,
I just don't think Chelsea has the defense, especially not the defensive depth. They're going to play a lot of games this year.
Well,
they're losing center backs like flies.
I mean, okay, but we just talked about Liverpool and their lack of defensive depth. So if we're going to, knock Chelsea, and then we're going to, who's replacing Van Dijk if he needs a day off? Konate, he's already halfway out the door. So we're going to knock Chelsea. We got to knock Liverpool.
But Chelsea is already on their second choice center backs. That's what I'm saying to you. Their starters have already got hurt. Liverpool were playing the game. If Van Dijk gets hurt, what happens? Okay, he's not hurt right now.
That's fair. But one thing I will give Chelsea credit for, and the one thing that they will do, they will go buy a player if they need to.
Oh, yeah. They need a center back.
Everyone January deadline, they will go buy a player. And so if it really comes down to it and the center back position is that bad, I'm very confident that they will buy a player in the January window.
They got that nasty Saudi money thing.
Yeah, they will go buy a player.
I'm not too worried about that. But my thing about Chelsea is I actually so wholehearted, like Rodney has sold me on Chelsea, because Delap, I think, is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Like, when we're going to talk about players who are going to have a season, like, as a gambling degenerate, if you watched enough Southampton, that boy knows how to get shots, maybe not always in the back of the net, but he is always going to get a lot of shots on target.
I think he played on Ipswich.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, all those relegated teams are all the same. But he was he was the only one worth a damn. And with that being said, he is going to find himself with this talent the way Rodney's talking about Palmer, I think he's going to be the one that's going to benefit a lot more with playing with this talent around him, that we're going to see a lot of goal scoring early and often from him. So if anybody, Delap is the guy who I'm all.
And he's coming.
Why do you think he's been coming off the bench then for João Pedro? I mean, Pedro's been starting every game.
João Pedro's really good too.
I think I won't lie to you. I think what they did at the FIFA Club World and how he came on and was just a splash. Like he just came on and immediately kind of.
He's a dog. He
just turned up the energy for them.
Yeah.
I think you let that ride out, especially in. We've been talking about like some of this. We've been deciding do these games matter or not. It's hit or miss. I think with Delap having already played Premier League games, like this is not something where he's coming in for. He's already here and has already had stake in it. I think it's going to be prime for him to have a superb season. Like he's the guy that I'm really, really intrigued now. Everything Rodney has laid out, I love that. I don't know if they're going to win it. But I definitely have them fighting for like that number 2 spot because I don't think, once again, I don't have Liverpool winning. So I think that gives them a chance to win. If I have them fighting for the number 2 spot, why not have anything break your way and win it?
Yeah, this is a weird Premier League season because I feel like the top teams don't feel quite as good as they used to be in a way. Like they're not elite, but there's a lot of teams at a still a very strong level. But to me, it seems like Liverpool is the only elite team. I think Chelsea and Man City are about the same level, which is incredibly talented attackers and a kind of suspect defense.
Hey, I mean, I know they had an injury since, but they've been dominating the preseason so far, even going back to the World Cup. It means something. They're playing real teams. They just beat AC Milan 4-1. That means something. Like they in a game that really mattered, they killed PSG. Like they crushed them.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they really crushed PSG.
That's why
like a team that easily the best team in the world.
If PSG would have won that game, the conversations we would have been having about like, is this the best team to ever play? Is it the best season?
No, that would have really been something.
That would have been and Chelsea stopped that hard, and no one ever kind of like
acknowledged it. No one acknowledged that,
and no one really acknowledged it. We didn't even acknowledge how dominant they were in that performance versus a team that, in particular, we have been touting for the last 3 months as like the best team in Europe.
Bro, there was not 1 second in that game versus PSG that you thought PSG was going to win.
Dembele, the guy who we believe was going to be Ballon d'Or, was literally uttered.
I think those guys were just so tired. I just think at the end of the day, they played so many more games than Chelsea.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen, bro, it happens.
But they were tired of the championship, but they dominated that whole tournament prior to the championship. And they got tired in the championship.
If a team was tired in the European club final and just was, you wouldn't give that excuse. You'd be like, this is the final. And that's why I kept asking.
Chelsea played great. I don't know. We'll see. And I think just losing your starting center back hurts a lot when you don't have great depth. But we'll see. I do love Chelsea this year. I think offensively they're going to be incredible to watch. Like I love those players. I love Cole Palmer. Bino Gittins looks amazing already. Estevao looks like it's going to be hard to keep him from starting to. So I love Chelsea, but
that's the thing I love about Chelsea. I mean, outside of the defense, we're talking midfield attack. They damn near have a good substitute for every single position at the attack.
Yeah, they do. So my agenda is going out to Spain, mi gente, dímelo, and talking about La Liga, because I think this year's La Liga race is not going to be anything like a race at all. I think Barcelona are going to win La Liga by such a wide margin.
Wow.
We'll know it's done by early February. Okay. I'd say I think it's just going to be a rout. I don't think Real Madrid is going to come close to touching Barcelona this year. I think Lamine Yamal is about to have one of these seasons that you're going to tell your grandchildren you witnessed. This guy is bigger, faster, got the confidence of fucking young Maradona. Like, I don't know if you saw his celebration. He's putting the crown on himself. Like, I feel like we're about to witness something crazy, and Real Madrid just won't be able to keep up. Barca's defense is all healthy now. Koundé is fit. Frankie de Jong is fit. Pedri's fit all at the same time. They have tons of depth with all of their, like, La Masia Academy graduates. I just think La Liga is going to be a joke this year.
Bro, is Rashford even on the team? Can they even afford him?
I sent you in the Twitter group chat a Rashford assist 2 days ago.
I know, but is he registered to play in the real game?
Is he registered?
Yeah, is he
I think that's always a little murky question here.
Okay.
I feel like you always get a lot of different answers from Barcelona.
Okay, because I feel like they got a few transfers and none of them are actually registered yet. So.
But the thing is, they don't really need anything. They got their academy is so strong that they just be fucking popping these random dudes out, and it's like Lamine Yamal, Kubarsi, Gavi, Pedri, just out of nowhere. Like they don't need to go sign these guys for $50 million. So it's a totally different paradigm.
So you're not a.
Hold on. Your Ballon d'Or winner is just like him being registered may or may not have any effect on the team.
I mean, it's gonna have effect. They're gonna get it done. They're gonna register Rashford.
I know Rodney is semi-trolling, so I'm not really too concerned about that actual part of the conversation. But I'm just very interested in just how much you're dismissing. Not even just Real, but just other teams, Atletico Madrid.
I think Atletico is probably going to finish second.
So you're really
out for
you're
real.
really
I think Real Madrid.
Hold on. The agenda isn't even about Barca. It's that you're really out on Real. Like,
I think it might be multiple agendas here because I look at Madrid and it looks like a mess. It looks like a mess, and Xabi Alonso has been brought in to fix someone else's mess, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in 1 year. Like,
So you're saying maybe he has a situation like another coach, maybe in a different league named Ruben? Wow. Maybe. Like he doesn't have the players that might fit the thing that he needs.
I think the difference is Real Madrid's players are supposed to be much better than Manchester United's players, whether or not they perform much better sometimes. But I don't know. I love the Dean Huijsen signing they made, but I just see they're the same issues we looked at last year. There's the question with Vinny and Mbappe that has not been resolved, which leaves Mbappe still playing his worst position instead of just playing left wing. I just think they haven't resolved what they need to figure out.
They got your boy though. They got Trent. Like isn't everything like I'm confused. You're the one who said that's the thing. You're the one who said Trent
was going to take them to the next
Trent was going to take them to the next level, that he was going to be doing these long ball passes from the right back, that Xabi was going to be having him play his defense wasn't even going to matter because he's going to be having him playing like up in this mid weird
right wing
hybrid right wing type of position. So now less than a month later, all of this is just going to the shits. Like they're just not, like they don't even got. Here's the thing: I'm not saying that you even said they were going to win, but you have just gone full. They're gonna
Atletico is really good.
That's
Julian
my point.
Alvarez is 1 year better. Like Atletico spent more money than Real Madrid in the transfer market. Like, they went in.
So once again, is your agenda about Barca or about Madrid? Because if Atletico Madrid. No, because if Atletico Madrid is so much better, Alvarez is better than us, then how is Barca just going to run away and La Liga's not even going to be close? Because La Liga was close last year with Madrid being what? It was 5 to 6 points?
It was close last year. La Liga was close last year because Lamine Yamal was still coming through these development phases. Now you're going to see, as you called him, Chuck, the best player in the world. You said it before I did. Like now he's really going to be that. Like Lamine Yamal, he knows you can't guard him now. Like what we saw in those last stages of the Champions League, it was something different. Even though they lost ultimately, the way Lamine was playing was something that was weird. Like he was dribbling through quadruple teams. This year, it's about to get to an entirely different level. I'm just excited to see it.
Once again, first of all, don't y'all butter me up. You say he's the best player.
I got you good there, didn't I? I was like, as you said, my friend.
I like that.
Shout out to you.
That was a good job. I like what you did there. But as you said, when we saw them in the Champions League, what was their kryptonite? It was their defense. You're the guy who said,
Koundé wasn't healthy. Koundé wasn't healthy, and that guy is a great defender. And they needed him.
I don't know how much I believe in any one defender doing what you believe because when I last saw them in the first stage they gave it was a 4-3 loss. You said, that didn't matter. Before even the game, even the second leg, you said, that doesn't matter. They'll come. what do? They went and lost 4-3 again because that's what the defense, it wasn't bigger.
Yeah. Well, no, their style, they're always going to give up a bunch of goals in their style. But having a better defender helps on the margin.
And I don't deny that. But on the margins, this is the thing about soccer. If any sport, when playing on the margins, anything can happen. So for you to say they're going to run away with La Liga, run away. That's a big statement.
So you're not worried about the striker position. You're not worried about.
Bro, I think Barcelona is going to be putting up 4 and 5 goals every single game this year. I think we're about to watch some shit that's like a show. You know the way people talk about that first season with Messi, Suarez, and Neymar? That's how they're going to talk about this year. Okay. This shit is about to be electric.
Who's Suarez?
Of course, who else?
Luis Suarez, bro. When he went to Barcelona?
Barcelona, this team. Who's the Suarez of this team is what I'm saying. Because
Marcus Rashford, of course, bro. Marcus Rashford, put some respect on his fucking name.
Why are you acting like you don't know what's going on here, Rodney? Exactly.
Are you not seeing the clip?
Okay.
I sent the clips in the group chat. It's Rashford clip after Rashford clip after Rashford clip. The redemption tour is here.
This week I'm laughing. Last week I looked at myself. I was doing a lot of screaming I'm laughing. I'm not gonna be the bitter man because he tried to pay me as the bitter Man United fan last week. So I'm laughing this week at all Rashford delusion.
No, now it's time to paint you as the bitter Man U fan. This is a perfect segue. So because this is kind of our season preview pod, I have to ask you, Chuck, after everything we've seen with Man United, they bought an entirely new attack. The whole front three is new. That's pretty rare in one summer, excuse me. Where do you see them finishing this year? What's the most you can hope for? I'm going to let you dream. I want you to dream with us.
Top five.
Top five. Okay, so Europa League spot?
Top five. Let's get it. Nah, man. I really like as you said, Ahmad, like we forgot about players that we actually were sort of high on last year. Like Ahmad. He's gonna get to play with a lot of once again, I feel like Bruno and Ahmad in particular are going to benefit in the same way I just talked about how Delap will benefit from playing with much better players. These guys were good Premier League players last year, and I think surrounding them, like you said, with this new attack, Sesko, we will have to see how he transitions from the Bundesliga. That will be something to be seen. He's gonna. I don't even know if he's gonna get a tune-up before we play.
So, I mean, you're sure as hell not putting Højlund back in there.
That is a good point.
That dude is done.
Yeah, he's waiting to go to Chelsea apparently. So, hey, shout out to him.
AC Milan or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was one of them. I saw it. But with that being said, I think top five is very, very much so in the books.
So when you say top five, you mean fifth, right? By top five, you mean number 5.
I think honestly, they'll be fighting for that, and I think it's to the point you made that there's no great team that when you look around the Premier League. So I feel as though in last year, Manchester played really pretty decently against top flight teams and lost games they probably should have won or tied games they probably should have won. It was a lot of that, and I feel like this year some of those will turn into wins, 3 points, not 1 point, and that'll be the difference maker. So I believe that we will finish top 5, and if not top, we'll be fine. We'll be in that 6, 7. Before Sesko and last week, I was telling you what 8, 9.
Yeah, you were a lot more humble. The Sesko is really the ego in the Man U fans has climbed up steadily.
The way you talked about other teams needing a striker, I think that was the one thing. Like even when Ahmad played last year on the wing, he showed promise. This year, I think you would much rather have him in the midfield, kind of that hybrid attack versus defense, because I don't really want him attacking all the time. With Cunha and Mbeumo there, I know that it's a solidified attack, and I don't need now when we have all in the box that I'd much rather have him being the 4th or 5th guy who's going to have his foot on the ball than the 1st or 2nd guy. So that just makes me feel a lot better.
I will say for Man U, as of they currently constructed, I think more of a top 8 is where I would have them. I still think they're good. I definitely don't think they're close to great. However, there's a couple rumors that would certainly elevate them into a top 4 situation. One that's a little bit more credible, I feel like, or realistic, is I just saw a report that they're approaching the Crystal Palace defender because he has 1 year left on his contract.
Was it Guehi?
Yeah, Guehi. And I think that's pretty.
Guehi's excellent.
And Crystal Palace has already said, like, we're gonna sell him because we don't want to get nothing for him. And he's kind of making that, Trent move where 1 year left, like, I'm not resigning, so either sell me now or I'm walking and you're getting nothing kind of deal. And I think that's a little bit more realistic. I think that the back four for Man U, particularly those center backs, I mean, we want to talk about a weakness. You want to talk about a weakness? That's about as weak as it gets in terms of a.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. Can you name any of the center back but Mazza?
No, so the center backs they've been starting. So they do the 3 center backs and the 2 wing backs. They've been doing this guy 18-year-old Heaven, the 19-year-old Lenny Yoro, and then Lisandro Martinez, who came back from like a torn ACL.
That's what we were talking about. We were talking about Martinez. That's what I'm saying. I still really like Martinez.
I like Martinez, but he's coming off a torn ACL. Like it's not simple.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue.
And the second rumor that I think is definitely some Man U hopium. You know what I mean? Some Man U fan fiction. But they're talking about Baliba at 120 mil. Now, I don't think Man U has the stomach to spend that much money after they already spent
double what they put on Sesko.
Yeah. Now, I think that there's a world where if they somehow can sell Garnacho, Antony, basically get rid of the trash and actually get some value for them. It's kind of what Chelsea did, to be honest. In order to sign some people, you kind of have to like find some Saudi team to take your bum players. Then I think Baliba becomes a little bit more realistic.
The difference is Man U isn't in bed with a Saudi company.
Well, that just goes to my point. That's why it's hopium in that.
They really should be. It's like, why not? What are you waiting for at this point?
I hate to be this guy, but that's the biggest thing about Chelsea right now. Like, the valuations on some of these cats is crazy, and that's ultimately helping them. So I'm not knocking it, but like,
but also part of it is that Chelsea, for say what you want, they're really good at finding people to buy players they don't want anymore. They as much as they bought, they've also sold a lot of players. Like again, part of it is being tapped in with the Saudi money because they can find a Saudi team to pay top dollar for a player that's really not that good in the Premier League, but is very good in Saudi. So they got a little cheat code there.
Who was the captain they sold for? They just sold for $44 million to Saudi. Who was just on United? What was fuck?
I don't even. It's a bunch of mid players.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
And they had a bunch of mid players.
I
mean, Nicholas Jackson, they're probably going to sell as well and get like 50, 60 mil, I think. Especially if Newcastle can figure out their situation with Isak. I think Nicholas Jackson's a great replacement for them. But regardless, if Man U gets both of those guys, I think that you can really put them in a conversation with almost anyone.
Yeah, I think my big question. I have one big question about Sesko, which is, after I did a bunch of reading about him, he seems to have this incredible skill for making like hard to make shots, but struggles with like the tap ins and struggles with like just hitting in like a kind of regular cross. The chances that people see as easy, he kind of struggles more with, and seems to be the kind of guy who hunts these really hard, crazy low percentage shots that he's pretty good at. Like, he makes sometimes, and you see it on the highlight reels, but that's what people in Germany said, that like they were disappointed by how he finished other people's chances a lot of times.
I love how you tapped into the Germany Reddit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out where my German haters at,
Of course, to get dirt on Sesko because when you used your eyes and you watched the highlights, you couldn't find anything. So
no, because every single goal I see from Sesko is amazing.
I like that.
And apparently it's because all he does is shoot these crazy fucking shots, hoping they go in, and he makes them sometimes.
As a guy who watched a lot of Bundesliga, I think that is a very accurate portrayal of him. It's a lot of all or nothing. So when it goes, you're like, well, I don't know why you took that shot, and it's a lot of go. That happens quite often with him. So I don't deny that, but once again, I think it's a product of what he was playing around just as much as it was also youth. Like, he's been playing in the Bundesliga for the last 3 years, first on loan. I forget, from RP from wherever to RP. So he's a young, like, he's maturing. So I think as he matures, that will come out of his game. I think you can find a few cats around, even in the Premier League, who still have some of that in them. So I'm not too worried. I'd much rather have a guy do that than not take shots at all, personally.
Yeah, no, I like that he's bold. I'm just curious to see, because I know Mbeumo and Cunha are going to make a ton of chances for him. Like, a ton. Those guys are so good. And if he's just, flubbing all the chances, shit could get ugly real fast. So
he's a big upgrade from Højlund. We could anything from that. I mean, you got to take it as a dub.
We'll see. You never know until you feel that Premier League fire. But I don't think they're gonna finish top 10. I think they're gonna be outside the top 10. I think like 11, right on the edge. I think they just haven't addressed right now is constructive. If they get Baleba, that's a different story because he's incredible. But that's a big price. But right now you're relying on Casemiro and Bruno in the center of the field, and like that's not the strongest defensive pairing. Casemiro is slow as shit. We did him in our overpaid section. If you remember the worst contracts, I think Casemiro was like a constant on everyone's list.
He was pretty unanimous.
Yeah, Casemiro is like he is really, his legs are shot. So they're gonna get ran through, and their back line is super unproven, and plus a guy who's coming off an ACL injury, plus Harry Maguire. So I just think their defense it's gonna get ran through at times by a lot of teams that are much less prestigious than Man United. I think they will get goals though. I love Mbeumo and Cunha, like they're building something, but unless they get those upgrades, I don't think it's going to be a great year.
I think you gave an accurate assessment of the defense, but I feel as though you've given accurate assessments of other people, but not come to the proper conclusions. And this is another one of those things where your assessment was accurate, but your conclusion was not. But thank you for playing.
What should my conclusion have been?
That while they do have some issues with the defense, like other teams, every team we've talked about so far, we talked about the back line being their greatest issue. Of all these teams, I'd argue they have the most proven attack as far as players who played in the Premier League. Cunha and Mbeumo, the two of the three greater than.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say more than the rest of the league, but they upgraded a ton.
We talked about so far. I didn't say the rest of the league. I said the people.
So we're like Liverpool.
We didn't bring up Man City. We didn't bring up Arsenal. I'm talking about the Chelsea and the Liverpool. Just strictly.
Yeah, it's close. It's close in terms of Premier League proven. Yeah. Yes.
That was my.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Thank you.
Where do you think Arsenal will finish this season?
I know you're gonna hate, so I hate. See, this is the thing. I as a United.
How do you know I'm gonna hate? Maybe I won't hate. Maybe I'm gonna surprise you. Maybe I'll surprise you.
To be, because as a United fan, it sucks to be like root, not even root, but to see good in Arsenal. But I actually think like this is, if they don't win it this year, I'm confused when they ever win. So like, I'm just looking around. They finished what, second, last 3 years or last 2 years, last 3 or 3 in the last 4, somewhere shit like that. But last 2 for sure. If they do not win this year, I do not know. It's all there. They have the attackers. They have the defense.
Yeah, you're talking about back line. They don't have a weakness in their back line.
No, they don't.
There's nothing. Everything that we've kind of talked about, other teams we can find. They have a super wonder kid that can come off the. They have. We talked last week about the other super wonder kid that we just forgot about. Nwaneri. Bro, they have it all. They have depth. They have all 3 levels with players that we believe are solidified at the position. I do not know how they do not know. Now they have a coach, Arteta, that we do not always believe in. We don't understand maybe what he's doing. Maybe we believe he's not leading them to their full potential, holding them back in some instances. But I do not know, with all this talent, all this money they have spent, how they do not do it at this point in juncture. Someone tell me how.
Because Gyökeres is not nearly as good as they hope he is. That would be why.
And honestly, I hate that is an actual good assessment. But I just don't know how, from what we've seen, the guy has been a prolific goal scorer. Like, whether you want to say he's only scored goals against bad teams, there's a league. There's, 20 teams in the league? He scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals in that league. That is a fact. No matter what you want to say, how you want to slice it, he scored a lot of goals in that league. He scored 3 goals on Man City. This is a fact.
He did.
So for me, I don't know, with what he's done so far, why we cannot give him the benefit of the doubt as of right now. Now listen, the last time we seen him play, what he do?
He hit a header. He hit a beautiful header, like a perfect header, the exact kind of header that he did twice all of last year. And people really thought that wasn't part of his game. Maybe it's more of his game than we realized, but that does feel like an outlier.
So all I'm gonna say is that you were championing that this is a one-trick pony. And you only do this, that.
And he heard that shit. My bad, Victor.
And he did something different. So for me, I don't understand how you are willing to give other cats and other teams the benefit of the doubt, but not this cat. That's the only thing that
Here's the thing. I don't think it's not that he's not good. It's that they don't use what he's really good at. He is great at running in space. Like, he's a thoroughbred horse, and you need to let that man run. And they got him standing in the box waiting for crosses. It's a really different activity, and it's one that he doesn't have as much expertise in. When he scored those 3 goals against Man City, it was on the break, and he is so hard to stop on the break. But Arsenal doesn't really funnel chances like that towards their striker. They kind of wait, work it down slowly, and then hit crosses in, which Saka is great at, Rice is great at. It's just that in his past, Gyökeres has not been great at finishing those types of chances. Now, maybe he's got that in his bag, and maybe he's going to be better at it than he's ever been before this year, but that's a lot to bet on. You know, that's a big change in your life. He's 27. It's not like he's fucking 21 and just starting to learn the game.
Fine. And on the other hand, Arsenal hasn't always had a premier striker like Victor Gyökeres who can do some of these things. So now they can maybe not have to slowly bring the ball up. Maybe Arteta will be more inclined to play on the attack because they have it. Like, that is the thing.
Well, I heard we had Arsenal fans in our comments being like, oh, you're so stupid Americans. Don't you know Arteta's going to change the formation? He's going to change the tactics. All the preseason, he hasn't changed anything. He hasn't even toyed with changing anything. And he's just been leaving Martin Odegaard in there fucking stinking it up. Just fucking overhitting through balls, holding the ball too long, and looking like a goddamn deer in headlights when he's in front of the goal. Meanwhile, Max Doman, fucking English Lamine Yamal, is sitting on the bench, and you're just letting Martin Odegaard embarrass you. Doman comes in for 10 minutes. He hits the post. He gets an assist. He's making the keeper work right away. And all the Arsenal players, you can see it. They keep giving the ball back to Doman. Like, they know he's like the guy that the offense is revolving around when he's in the game. So I think if Arteta makes the right decisions, they have upside. They have the talent. The defense is great no matter what. They just don't score enough goals, and Arteta doesn't seem to know how to, like, craft an offense that's dynamic enough.
I think that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
No. But I just think that as much as you are down on them, the one thing Arsenal has been proven they can do under Arteta is play good defense. Now for the longest time we've been saying people like Havertz, what was the other kid, Mikel that they bought in halfway through the season last year. We were screaming
Marino.
Whatever. We were screaming that they needed strikers. They needed strikers. Now they have a legit one that, at least on paper, everyone believes.
Allegedly legit. Allegedly legit. Let's see.
Believes he's a guy. So now, why not let Arteta work with a legit and then blame him?
Look,
I don't think it's fair that.
Look, shame on both of you. I've been sitting here listening to you guys talk about Arsenal for the past 10 minutes, and y'all have not mentioned the player who I think has the potential to turn into the best player in the Premier League easily this year, which is Saka. I think that he's due for a major
agenda forming here. Huh?
I think that he was on his way to that breakout last year prior to the injury. And he's had a lot of time to recover. He's come back. He's looking good. Like Chuck's saying, he's got a better striker. I think that's a similar situation to Cole Palmer. But again, you were talking about Gyökeres all the time. You didn't bring up Saka.
Because he's the new addition here.
That's right. You weren't talking about Saka. You were acting like Gyökeres is the most important or best player on the team. He's not.
No, he's the most important for sure. Not the best player. I agree with you. Saka's the best player. But
he's the best and most important player. That's my point. It was way too much.
Gyökeres is the most important addition.
But he's not the most important player on the
Saka
team.
got to be that.
He's not.
We've been talking about them. First of all, when Saka was there, we all agreed they'd been great. Even when he was there, what was the same issue we were talking about? Them being able to score goals, mainly because we didn't believe in the striker. If this guy, Victor, is even half as good as what we believe he can be, they now have a premier striker. What the fuck else do you guys have made me curse multiple times today, and I wasn't
First
trying
off,
to do that. That's all.
they were their problem was with their goal scoring is once Saka left. Then we started talking about a lot of issues with they were doing fine offensively when Saka was playing very well, even though they didn't have a proven striker
they still
in
were
the
not,
beginning of the year.
They were doing fine offensively, but they were still not scoring goals. They were
No one was complaining in the same way they were once Saka went out. Is what I'm saying. The drop off was immense.
And they still finished second. Like, that's my thing. And like we were still talking about them all the way up until maybe the last 2-3 weeks into the season. So
no, for sure. My point is, you guys were not giving Saka enough love for my liking. We had a lot of Gyökeres talk, a lot of Dowman talk, a lot of...
I got Saka on my fantasy team.
A lot of Declan Rice talk, and not enough Saka talk. And again, I think that Saka...
I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's all I asked for. Thank you. Thank you for being the bigger person.
So where do you think Arsenal finishes this year? I got them finishing 4th.
I got
Champions League spot.
I mean, I already said that I think Chelsea's going to win, but if there's one team that I think will supplant Chelsea from winning, it is Arsenal.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Those are my top 2 teams coming into the season.
I think Arsenal's better than Liverpool?
Yes.
What?
Yes. They have a way better defense. Again, this is assuming that Saka. They have a way better defense. They
do have a better defense, but they don't score enough goals.
They have a way better. That's because Saka was out most of last year. If Saka's playing a full season,
they got a better striker.
They got a better striker as well. Facts. But if Saka is playing a full season, you're gonna be talking about Saka the way you were hoping that Lamine Yamal.
They're gonna love you at the Arsenal bar this year. You're gonna get autograph requests at the Arsenal bar this year.
Saka is gonna be taking the leap that you hope Lamine Yamal's taking.
But listen, here's the thing though. If he believes in Palmer, or not even Palmer, but in Chelsea as much as he said he does, and some of that revolves around Palmer, he's been on record of saying he believes Saka is better than Palmer. So it's only kind of a deductive reasoning to believe that Saka will be but just as better, as good or better than Palmer.
If they're both at their best, I'm still taking Saka. Let's make that very clear.
I think Arteta's holding back the offense. I think that's my point. That's my. I love Saka. I just think Arteta, the way he coaches offense it doesn't create a lot of chances.
Well, you see, I picked Chelsea to win, so I'm not disagreeing with you one bit. Let's make that clear. I'm not reneging on my initial.
So you got Arsenal second, though.
I got Arsenal second. I think even with their downfalls in terms of coaching strategy, offensive, I think they have enough talent to at least be at minimum serviceable offensively. But they are stonewall on defense.
They are on defense.
They have the best center back duo in the league. The left back and right back are also very solid. I love their midfield. You know, Declan Rice came out, showed out.
Got a new defensive midfielder too, Zubamendi, who looks great.
Yeah, they got rid of that, that R word, so they doing better in the midfield. So, you know what I mean? They're on the up and up. They had a lot of bad vibes in that locker room, apparently. A lot of bad vibes. So, I think they're on the up and up. I think that they will be in a very close race with Chelsea. I will pick Chelsea right now, but I would not be surprised if Arsenal won.
Damn. And Chuck, you got them winning?
And I have them winning, and to his point, I would not be surprised if Chelsea.
Pod now. We got Arsenal winning.
Listen, I'm looking
at what I have.
I got them fourth. I got Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal.
In that order?
In that order.
All right.
The fact that you got.
I don't know about. Okay. You're talking about Man City second. We can get
to Man City right now.
We can get to my secondary agenda. Because to have Man City second. After the news that came out that Rodri is about to turn into EPL Joel Embiid with that knee is a problem, and it needs to be addressed because they have not found a replacement for a Ballon d'Or winning caliber defensive midfielder. You could argue is the most or second most important position on the field. Defensive midfielder, whether it be breaking the press, whether it be helping the center backs in front of them on defense. Rodri is as essential to any team currently in the world, in my opinion, in terms of the role that they need him to play, especially when you take into account that De Bruyne, he fell off last year. He's not on the team now. I don't even think they really have I like
Marcus out of Napoli.
He's not. He kind of balled out at Napoli.
I know.
I don't think. I love Marmoush. He plays the same position. He doesn't.
You got Marmoush on your fantasy team.
I love Marmoush. Marmoush is about to kill it this year. I think Marmoush is y'all's best player. I'm a full believer. I think he's y'all's best player. He doesn't play the same way as De Bruyne, necessarily in terms of creating for others, but he can make it happen.
I just don't know. I think Man City has the talent to win the league.
I don't think they don't.
Pep
don't have a replacement. You can't tell me you've never replaced your Ballon d'Or winner. Your other best player is no longer on the team, and tell me that you have the talent to win the league. They brought in a bunch of lemons to replace Rodri.
I think Pep has the reputation. Pep has the reputation.
Where is Nico Gonzalez right now?
Because he started the last game.
And you think he's good? Because you told us that he was the Rodri replacement when they first signed him.
I think he can be good. Yeah, I think he can.
Do you think he is good? Yes or no?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
He's good. You think he's good? Okay, good.
I don't think he's as good of a passer as Rodri. Like, Rodri could hit those cross-field passes to the wingers. That was really, really valuable to get them set up one-on-one. I don't think Nico can do that. But defensively, I think he's because I think Nico Gonzalez was starting not because he was good, but because he told Pep, "I'm about to ask for a transfer if you don't play me." Because he was riding the bench for multiple games in a row because he was not giving Pep what he thought he was going to give him. So listen, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little. It's going to be a little interesting at the start because Pep has so many new players over the past 6 months that he really doesn't even know how to use these guys yet. But there are two guys in midfield that are changing the dynamic of this team. Okay. That's my boy from the Netherlands, Tijani Reinders. This guy is dynamic. Box-to-box midfielder. He has that Kevin De Bruyne sense of when to bomb into the penalty box and try to get an overload on the defense, smash home a goal. He did it twice coming on as a substitute in the most recent preseason game.
Against who? Who was that against?
Against Palermo in Italy.
Okay, so not a good team. Okay.
So not a great team. Maybe the second division of Italian football, but neither here nor there.
So some farmers. Some
fishermen, but something like that.
Okay, continue. Just want to provide context for the viewers.
So him and then Ryan Cherki. Ryan Cherki to me, tres ball. Me. I don't know how to say that many French words. Damn, Spanish is my French.
See, now that's another thing. The fact that they're relying on Ryan Cherki. The TikTok star, I'm so
man. He's got more. One thing in the preseason, he's been linking up with Haaland beautifully.
Bro,
he's got a partnership with Haaland that I think we're gonna see throughout this season. That he breathes some new life back into the robot. He might be the medicine the robot needed. A little bit of ratatouille.
He's not gonna get on the field as much as you even want because he is fat and he does not play defense.
But Pep needs to accept that. Pep needs to accept that. Okay, he's a little fat. Okay, he might be smoking cigarettes during the game, but let this guy cook. Let him do his thing.
Him cook doing that?
So hold on.
He's got a creative vision that they desperately need.
I would ask you. I said, do you think Pep is not what he should do or could do? Do you think Pep is the type of coach to let Ryan Cherki slide on defense because of his potential offense?
I think he's going to this year. I think he's not the type of coach, but I think he will do it this year.
Okay. And I don't.
Because I don't think there's that many choices. Pep has to reform this team.
Put Phil Foden in way before he puts in Ryan Cherki.
Phil Foden's hurt.
You're getting a little emotional right now.
Anyway, second place in the Prem. Like you said, they got Marmoush.
All right, whatever.
I think they're going to get Haaland activated. And I think they'll challenge for first, but I think ultimately Liverpool will win.
The fact that you are just completely ignoring the fact that Rodri is absolutely cooked is unbelievable.
He's been cooked. And we've been buying new players for 6 months.
And
he may come back. He might come back. You never know.
They said that 6 months ago. And then now
you never know.
We saw what the team looked like last year. Yeah. You have not named one player that is replacing him. I don't think that Man City is going to be.
Reinders replaces him a little. He's not the same defender, but he does play some.
He's replacing De Bruyne and Rodri?
A little bit.
A little
bit. They had different responsibilities.
I just want y'all to know, y'all went about 8 minutes without bringing up the $500 million man. Now, you finally got to him last with Cherki and the connection, but how do you pay the highest paid player in the Premier League
$500,000 a week, right?
And not expect him to at least not step his level up, get back to the type of form he had when he first. To me, it should be this. Haaland should be able to step back and go back to a former form of his that we saw when he was at the top of his game, and Man City should feel okay because he should be able to carry some of the offensive load while you do what you say. You kind of work past this defense. Pep kind of puts a few different people together and makes it happen. But the fact that Haaland is literally like the fourth or fifth guy in the conversation for you speaks volumes to me. It tells me everything I need about Man City as a.
Well, I do think
Dunzo not happening. Over. Thank you.
I think Haaland by the end of September, we'll be talking about him again as one of the best players in the league.
Wow.
I think these new players and the fact that they have some really easy matchups in the first month is going to help too. You know, like when you play like Leeds United or something in the fourth week, you know, people get a little excited. I wanted to know, Rodney, what position are you bold enough to say Spurs will have after saying they would finish top 4 all of the beginning of last year, and they finished
for sure.
17th?
I mean, yeah, it was bad. I mean, look, in the Champions League, that's all that matters. It's just equivalent.
This
So
year, what place this year in the
This
Premier
year, I mean, this whole pod has been nothing but, Chuck's loving Man United. You know what I mean? Brad's loving Man City. I am hating Tottenham. The vibes have never been lower. The vibes have never been lower, and it's all directed at Daniel Levy. I think he is the worst transactional personnel person out of all the major 6 teams in the Premier League, or even the top half of teams that are supposedly good or have access to money. The way Tottenham is supposed to have all this money, all this budget. I mean, it started with the Morgan Gibbs-White saga. We already went through that. The fact that Tottenham is the only team in the world that could trigger a release clause and still not get a player. It's unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Los Angeles.
He's already turning on the team before game 1.
I'm not turning on the team. I'm still a fan. Like, I don't think that they'll be terrible. I mean, they won't get relegated. They'll be better than last year. But I don't think that they will sniff any chance of actually winning the league. You know what I mean? So at that point, I don't really care where they finish. I think they'll probably be somewhere in the 10 range. You know what I mean? I don't think that they'll be, I don't think it'll be embarrassing, because I do think Thomas Frank is a much better tactical coach than Ainge. And so he will, figure out the best way. I'm hoping, fingers crossed that Van de Ven and Romero, they're looking healthy right now. The numbers are a lot better defensively when those two guys are playing. I like Danso a lot as that third center back. The first time that Tottenham has really had a solid center back to relieve one of those two guys, I do like Danso. Porro, Spence, Udogi, I actually like the back line, assuming health. You know what I mean? But once you get to we'll see. They got the guy on loan from Bayern.
Hotel.
No, the defensive midfielder.
Paulinho.
Yeah, Paulinho. He's 30, so I can't put too much stock into it. But 2 years ago when he was at Fulham, he was a brick wall. He was the type of guy that really solidifies a defense. Again, last year he got minimal time in Bayern, so I'm a little worried. The Tottenham streets are saying he was just a bad fit for the coach. I don't know. He seems kind of washed to me.
How are the vibes on the Tottenham streets right now?
Tumultuous. You know what I mean? Tumultuous. They're begging and pleading for another signing. Begging and pleading. I don't know if Savinho, they're talking about getting Savinho. Who knows if that's gonna be a thing, or even how much.
Does anybody want to go to Tottenham? That's the real question.
Savinho, Savinho said he's ready to go if Tottenham ponies up the money.
Savinho wants to play every week. I think he's tired of Man City just benching him randomly.
Yeah, he wants to play. There's a lot of opportunity for him to play. He can outplay Odegaard and Tell and be that main guy in the left wing. The opportunity is there for him. So he's ready to go. If Tottenham ponies up to 70 mil. There's a Hail Mary chance that they still get Eze from Crystal Palace.
Okay.
I'm not expecting that. No, he's good.
Eze's a really interesting one, because he was in the Arsenal system as a kid, and they dumped his ass. So I feel like, I don't know if that would make you more or less inclined to want to choose them, because right now it's Arsenal and Tottenham basically fighting over him.
Oh, well, maybe, that there's always the ego thing, but. He's a really good player.
They got a slot right for him in the start. If he's in Arsenal, he's gonna be more of a rotational guy, I think. Tottenham, you play as much as you want. They got a slot right there for you where James Maddison is gone, where you can be playing Champions League minutes every single game and doing your thing.
Eze right away becomes maybe Spurs' best player.
Yes.
Him. It's right now. I think it's between. I don't think that he's better than Romero or Van de Ven, but in terms of attacking players or even midfield players, absolutely, either him or Kudus. So yeah, but I've been saying this since last year. I'm not a Solanke fan. I think that Tottenham has probably the worst striker duo out of any team that's in the Champions League from the Premier League. Just mid. I mean, Richarlison is a scrub. So the vibes are low.
Meme, though.
The vibes are the best thing he contributes is Instagram comments.
Oh,
the
man.
vibes are very low on the Tottenham streets, particularly my street of Tottenham. I'm just hoping to not get embarrassed. I mean, look, they play PSG in 48 hours. I'm gonna be on a plane. I'm not even gonna be watching. I'm gonna be on a plane. I'm going to Miami. They're not even gonna be on my mind. Just don't even text me the score. I don't want to know. I'm gonna put in a $20 bet on the money line just in case they win because it's like plus 600. Yeah, I'm not even gonna watch. Not even gonna watch.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's their fault. They got all this money. They got a stadium deal. They got a sponsorship deal, and the only player you've paid for this year is Kudus.
Mm-hmm.
And you bought Tell off the loan deal that you're already obligated to pay. Like that doesn't even count. You know what I mean? Tottenham's top 3 goal assist contributors, Son, Kulu, Madison, all gone, and they replaced him with one attacker. And it's just like what are we doing? It's a very unserious bunch.
Shout out Son, living in LA.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Son, legend. And Son is exactly why I condemn all of you, well, mainly Brad, for encouraging these players to ring chase and go to a new team because this team hasn't won and Real Madrid is going to win and blah, 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 blah. No, the one trophy, call it whatever you want, that one trophy that Son got means more to him than probably 95% of the trophies ever won by any player in the world ever. Just given the journey and everything that involves into it. You can say what you want about the trophy. You can't. It means a lot to him. It means a lot to all the fans. There's more to it than just winning. It's how you win. It's the journey involved. So shout out to Son, real legend.
Nah, that's the beauty. The beauty of the trophies in European football doesn't exist in American sports, really. You know, where you could have kind of a fucked up season, but go on a great cup run and actually have that mean something. Where I feel like everything out of the main leagues and the main playoffs in the United States doesn't really mean shit.
Sure. But I mean, you tell me this: who do you feel like? And I said it before. I'll say it again. Who do you think's more fulfilled with their trophy? Kane winning the Bundesliga, going and hopping ship over there, or Son winning, staying with Tottenham and winning Europe?
I don't know if Kane's like all there upstairs though. You know what I mean? Like when I've seen the interviews with him, like I don't know if anything would. I think he's fulfilled by like a bag of peanuts, you know.
Okay, well, all right. I suppose I can't speak on that. That's like how I feel about Cole Palmer when he speaks, but that's neither here nor there.
Cole Palmer's an interesting lad to hear speak.
That's a road man. Have some respect.
Yeah, he got a little touch of autism. Shut up, man.
Don't touch Jesus Christ.
Shut up.
Okay.
Some of our greatest minds in the world have got a little tism. So let's
hope Cole hasn't listened to the end of this.
Leave my black brother alone.
Your black brother.
Black brother. Cole Palmer invited to the cookout.
I'm not inviting nobody, but
we will never be free.
His grandfather is black though.
You have to cook out.
We'll never be free.
His grandfather is black. What are you talking about? His grandfather.
We'll never
if
be.
His grandfather is black. Answer the question.
Doesn't mean anything. I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care if one grandparent is black. Does that mean I'm white? Does I got one white grandparent? No.
You wanna be?
See, and that's nasty word. Absolutely not. We have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. I can't. You would be my friend if I walked around and told everyone I was white.
I don't know if I'd be your friend outwardly.
Okay, see. Would you associate with me if I told everyone I was white?
Kind of crazy for you, but that's not.
It's the same thing. You got a black grandparent. Yes or no? What does that mean? I don't care.
White can go to black. Black can't go to white.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Well, that's little gift people at the end of the pod. Leave a review if you like the pod. Thank you guys.